Hello, thank you very much for your interest in Rhythmic Trader, brought to you by GFF Brokers. My name is Casey, and in today's video we are going to be reviewing some of the features of RTrader Pro. Before we go any further, I need to make sure everybody is aware that trading futures is very risky and should only be done with risk capital that, if lost, would not affect your current lifestyle. I also want to make sure everyone is aware that we have a 24-hour technical support desk as well as order desk available to assist you getting into trades or getting out of trades, or if you need any sort of technical support. Please do not hesitate to call us at 866-249-4581 if you need technical support, or call our order desk at 866-249-4582 if you need to place a trade. The technical support and order desks are open 6 days a week, 24 hours a day, starting Sunday afternoon until Friday afternoon when the markets close. Now, to take a look at Rhythmic Trader, the first thing you're going to see is you're going to receive a form that you're going to need to fill out. I don't have a screenshot of this form, but it's basically going to ask you to put your name in there, choose a username, set up a password, and that kind of thing. The next thing you're going to receive is you're going to receive an email that's going to ask you to activate your Rhythmic Trader ID, and it'll look like this. You'll need to click the link in the center of the email. Clicking the link in the center of the email is going to bring you to a page that looks very similar to this. The main difference is that down here where it says sign in to view your agreements, it's not going to say that. I've already signed the agreements, so it's going to ask you to choose whether you're a professional trader or whether you're a non-professional trader. Most of our clients will choose non-professional traders, but if you are a professional trader, you'll know it, and you'll need to go ahead and indicate you are a professional trader here when setting up your demo. After you have set up whether you're a pro or a non-pro, you will then be allowed to install the Rhythmic Trader demo, and after you've installed it, you'll open it up by clicking on the shortcut it will create on your desktop. We'll go ahead and do that now. One nice thing about Rhythmic Trader is that it has multiple servers. So when you're logging in live, it really doesn't matter now because we're in a demo, but when you're logging in live, depending on what part of the globe you're in, you may want to choose a server that is not in Chicago. Rhythmic Trader has servers around the globe, so if you're someone who's in the UK or in France or Germany or what have you, you'd want to choose the European server or the server in Frankfurt. Or if you're somebody who is in the South Pacific or somebody who is in Asia, you'll want to choose a server in Singapore or the server in Tokyo. For ourselves, since we're here in the United States and because of the demo, we're going to choose the Chicago area server, and we're going to make sure that we have Rhythmic Paper Trading selected, because if we were not paper trading, if we were live, we'd want to choose Rhythmic 01 or perhaps one of the co-location servers if that's what we had set up. But for us, paper trading, so we choose Rhythmic Paper Trading. Once you've selected the system you're logging into and the server you're logging into, you want to go ahead and add your user ID to log in. We'll go ahead and do that now. Once you have logged into Rhythmic Trader, this is what you will see, the platform just like this, unpopulated. And once you see this screen, you have essentially logged into the platform. During this presentation, we're only going to take a look at a few aspects of the platform. We're going to be taking a look at the quote board, the order book, the positions window, as well as the charts. We're going to go ahead and start with the quote board. To bring up the quote board, you just go ahead and left click here on this scroll. Double left click, and double left click will bring up the quotes window. In the quotes window, as you can see, you've got a few different columns there. To add a symbol, you'll just go ahead and click here in the symbol row, and you're going to need to type in the symbol you want to add. We'll use the E-mini S&P as an example. The E-mini S&P, the symbol is ESM9, and you're also going to need to specify the exchange the contract trades on. For the E-mini S&P, it trades on the CME, so the full symbol we're going to need to type in there is going to be ESM9.CME. After you've typed that in there, you hit enter, and it'll bring up the quotes for that market. Right now we are in the halt almost before the close, so these quotes aren't going to be moving, but if the market were not halted, you would see these quotes changing, and the bid size and the ask size and the last traded size all changing as well. If there are any columns that you want to add that you don't see here that you feel may be beneficial, or if there are too many columns you see here and you want to remove some, just right click up above here in the columns and you can choose to add and remove columns. You can either put a check mark next to a column you want to add or take a check mark away from a column you want to remove. The next part of the platform we're going to go ahead and take a look at is going to be the order book. Double left click on that to bring it up, and as you can see here, the order book will come up blank. You're going to need to add a symbol to it. To add a contract to the order book, we will double left click in the symbol exchange window. That is going to bring up the add symbol menu. We'll need to find the exchange the market we want to add is trading on. In this case, it's the E-mini S&P, so we will add it from the CME. We'll highlight the CME, click the plus sign to expand it, look on the list of contracts traded on the CME, and find the E-mini S&P. You will double left click on that to bring up all of the contract months. As you can see on the right hand side here, we have the June month, the September contract, the December contract, and we also have, these are all futures contracts, we also have below here the various options for the E-mini S&P for June. All of the calls, if we were to continue scrolling down, we'd begin to see puts. All of the strike prices associated with those calls and puts for the E-mini S&P for June would be listed here. So if you wanted to trade a June E-mini S&P option, this is where you would add the strike price for trading. Today we're going to add the June E-mini S&P, just the futures contracts. So we'll highlight that one. We'll choose add and then close. And now we have the E-mini S&P displayed here on the dome for us. The first thing you're going to want to do inside the dome to make sure that you can place trades is you want to make sure that you have your account selected. This from the drop menu is where you're going to trade. If you have multiple accounts that you trade, you would select the different accounts from there. Or if you just have one account, you want to make sure you have your account listed in there. To the right of the accounts listing, we have the number of lots you're going to trade. Right now it's set to 0 and it does default to 0. If you want to go ahead and change the default number of lots to a specific number, you want to select that number here, or use the up and down arrow to increase or decrease the number of lots that will be traded. When you've got the number you want in there, you can go ahead and click set def, and that's going to make sure that one lot is set as the default number of lots that will be traded. Now here, as you can see, we've got a few different columns. You've got the last price or the price ladder. If you want to go ahead and place a buy order, you would do so by left clicking in the bid column. If you want to do a buy limit, you would left click in the bid column below where the market is trading to create a buy limit. If you wanted to create a sell limit, you would left click in the ask column above where the market is trading to create a sell limit. Stops are placed by using the stop market column. So anytime you want to place a stop, whether you want to do a buy stop or whether you want to do a sell stop, you will need to execute the stop in the stop market column. If you want to do a buy stop, you will click using your left mouse button in the stop market column next to the price you want above where the market is trading for a buy stop. Or if you want to do a sell stop, you will click next to the price you want in the stop market column below where the market is trading to create a sell stop. Now the T over here will create a ticket window, so regardless if you click above the market or below the market, it's going to always create a ticket window for you. If you click above the market, it's going to create a sell ticket window for you. If you click below the market in the T column, it's going to create a buy ticket for you. But you can always change the direction of the ticket inside there by changing it from buy to sell. Now we'll go ahead and check out the brackets and the OCOs. If you want to go ahead and add a bracket, you would click brackets and OCOs, and that's going to activate the brackets just below here. To activate the brackets, before you click enabled, you want to make sure that you've configured the brackets. You'll need to click on config, and I've already set up a few and you can see them here. The way that it works is that I've set this one up so it will be a bracket that has a break-even point. What that means is that when the bracket initially begins to work, it will have a profit target 5 ticks away from where I entered the market, and it will have a stop that is 6 ticks away from the market. But since the move to break even is checked, that means that it will move my working order up to the break even point plus 1 tick as soon as the market has moved 4 ticks in my favor. And we're going to show you that works in a moment, hopefully when the market resumes trading. Before we get back into what's going to happen with the DOM, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the charts. Now, the charts will go ahead and populate being blank just like it is now. You'll go ahead and add a symbol to the charts by double left clicking in the symbol exchange window, and just like with the order book, you'll go ahead and click the exchange you want to add, CME, and expand it, and look for the contract you want to add and double left click on it, and that'll bring up all of the contract months that are available to trade. We're going to highlight June E-mini S&P for 2019. We'll click add and then close, and as you can see here, we now have a chart that is displaying the data for the E-mini S&P for June 2019. The first thing you'll see usually on the chart is going to be this data box. You've got a couple of options for that. The first thing you can do is just go ahead and left click underneath this red line here and hold it and drag it to where you want it on the chart. If it's still taking up too much space, you can always right click and choose compact mode, and that's going to make it take up less space. Here we have the first option would be whether you want a weekly chart or whether you want a daily chart or an hourly chart or minute or second bars. It defaults to minute bars, and that's where we're going to leave it. To the right of there we have chart types. You can choose standard bars, candlesticks, different types of Heikin-Ashi. There are a couple of different chart types that you can choose from. We're going to go ahead and change it to standard bars to change the way it looks just a little bit. We're also going to change the time frame of the chart from being a 1-minute chart to being a 5-minute chart, so that means each bar will be representative of 5 minutes. And as you can see, the chart looks a little bit different now that we've changed those. We can also change how far back the chart is going to display data for. It defaults at 1 day, but you could get data all the way back to 5 years, so that's very helpful for some traders. And you can also choose whether or not you want the chart to display just the data from the day session, from when the market opened at 8:30 a.m. Chicago time, or you could have it display information from the day session as well as the electronic session from the previous evening. We'll go ahead and set it to display information from the electronic session from the previous evening as well as to display information from the day session. The next thing we're going to go ahead and do is activate the trade bar. To do that, you'll put a check mark in show trade bar, and that will go ahead and bring up the trade bar here on the right hand side. It will allow you to either buy at the market or sell at the market, buy at the ask or join the ask, join the bid or sell at the bid. But before you do that, you want to make sure that you have selected your account from the accounts here, because if you do not do that, you will not be able to place any trades. It will reject the order because there is not an account for it to send the order through to. You also want to make sure that you have your quantity selected, and that means that you want to choose a number in there. Right now it's set to 0, but you want to click quantity and set the number of lots you want to trade. I'm going to go ahead and set the default to 1 so that way we don't have to do it again. And then we have order defaults, and if you want to go ahead and set up the confirmations just like you would with the order ticket, you can go ahead and click confirm here, and it's going to make sure that every time you place a trade, it's going to ask you to confirm it. Down here we have the brackets, and this will allow you to either select a pre-determined bracket that you've already set up, or it will allow you to set up a new bracket by clicking on bracket and choosing a name for it, choosing if you want the bracket to be the target only, stop only, or both. You would need to determine if you want it to be a trailing stop or a break even, if it's going to have that at all, and as well as the number of lots you're going to trade and the number of ticks you want those orders to work at. We'll go ahead and choose basic 4, and if we were to go ahead and place a trade, we would be able to use this bracket when we place the trade. We'll go ahead and take a look at the positions window now. The market is about to resume trading, so we should be able to see some trades enter. When you are ready, you will go ahead and the market just started trading, so we're going to go ahead and buy one at the market. Before we do that, yeah, we have a basic in there. We're going to buy one at the market, and it's activated our bracket, so now it is working, and we should see that we're long one, and we have a working order in here with the bracket, and we'll see if it will go ahead and get us out with a profit or with a loss. We'll bring up our positions window now so we can see what our position is. And as you can see here, the positions window will go ahead and display the number of positions we're in. It'll also display how many buys and how many sells we've had for the day. And it's also going to display the last traded price and what the net change is. It's going to display our account balance, and it's also going to give us any fills that we may have. If we want to go ahead and exit out of this trade, we can go ahead and click this X here, and it's going to pull all working orders and exit the trade. We're not going to do that just yet, but that would be one option for us to do. Now, one thing you can do with the chart is you can go ahead and set up your studies and indicators, whether they're third-party indicators or indicators that you have created. If it is a third-party indicator or an indicator that you've created, you would access it through the third-party studies option by clicking on third-party studies and just go ahead and highlighting and activating the study you want to add to the chart. To the left of that, we have technical overlays. We have bands like the Bollinger Bands, moving averages, different options as far as indicators that you can place in your chart. We'll go ahead and add a simple moving average. We're going to keep the color of the moving average red so it's easy to see. And to the left of that, we've also got some secondary studies that we can add. We're going to go ahead and choose a MACD with a histogram to add. We could leave the color red, but we will change that to make it a little bit easier to see and make it a yellow color. We'll apply that, and as you can see now, we have added a histogram as well as the MACD. If we wanted to add one more study, we could do that, and we could add, say, a oscillator, maybe a stochastic oscillator, and we will go ahead and make that color green. And now we've added a stochastic oscillator, a different MACD histogram, as well as our moving average. So there are a few different options you can choose to do there to go ahead and find different indicators and studies that may help you find the trade you're looking for. We are still in a trade. It looks like we've made a little bit of money on this trade, so we're going to go ahead and cancel all and flatten just to go ahead and get us out. And we've canceled all our working orders and flattened us out. If you have any questions or you need to get in or out of a trade, please do not hesitate to call our technical support desk. Our telephone number is 844-249-4581, and our order desk number is 866-249-4582. Both our technical support desk and our order desk are open 24 hours a day starting Sunday afternoon as soon as the market's open, and they operate until Friday afternoon when the market's closed. They do operate 24 hours a day as long as markets are trading, so if you ever need to enter a trade or exit a trade, please do not hesitate to call us right away for assistance with your account. Once again, my name is Casey. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much for learning more about Rhythmic Trader. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at technical support. The telephone number once again is 844-249-4581. Thank you very much for your time and have a great day. Bye-bye.